Hello, sports fans. My name is Aaron.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Alexa. And this is Sports Talk Radio with the Brat Pak on KOS 630 p.m. Las Vegas.
We've got sports, coffee, and the occasional crack of some dumbass who said something really stupid.
We hand out the Richard Award to the biggest jag-off of the day.
So stick around after a word from our sponsors because you're not going to want to miss it.
KOS Sports Talk Radio with the Brat Pak is brought to you by Las Vegas alternative rock group Mead Avenue.
Look into your eyes, the universe is magnified. And even as the rust subsides, a fire burns deep down inside. And I feel alive.
Good evening, sports fans. I'm Aaron. I'm here with Alexa.
You're going to
and
introduce
Seth.
me correctly this
I
time.
make sure I get it right this time.
Yes.
Because
in case you couldn't tell
Okay,
who.
last show
That's
you were
Alexa.
Seth and
This
you
is
were
Seth.
Alexa. So anyway, I'm here with Alexa and Seth. How are you both today?
Hot considering it's the middle of October.
This is true. It is very warm
What was
out.
it? What was it today?
70, about 77.
Yeah,
It's
it was
still
high
very high
70s.
70s.
Well, thankfully, fall is right around the corner for us in December.
In December, yes.
Yeah,
So
falls
Yes.
in December
it
here.
will be good. Anyway, down to some sports and some stupid assholes of the sports world. Alexa, why don't you kick this one off?
We're going to start off with dirty hockey. Now, most people know I'm not much of a hockey fan, and if you know me personally, I'm really awful with names, so I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name. But in a game with the St. Louis Blues and the San Jose Sharks, Dan Boyle was hit from behind by Maxim Lapierre. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. And he was shoved face first into the glass, was knocked unconscious, and was taken off the ice on a stretcher. He's okay, spent the night in the hospital and all that, but apparently the guy who hit him has a history of dirty play and had been provoking the Sharks bench, saying, "I'm coming after you," yada, yada. And meanwhile, hockey just throws me for a loop, because meanwhile he was down on the ice, these two guys were fighting, and the refs, all three of them are just, like, huddling around, just watching them, and they're trying to punch each other, and they're not really, they're just, you know, but the refs are watching them like, I don't know, is that hockey?
That almost reminds me of that movie Goon with I'm just gonna call him Stifler because I don't remember his name. Sean William Scott was
Sean
that
William Scott, yeah.
Okay, so the guy you're talking about, he's an enforcer.
Yeah.
When you go
Yeah.
by the bench and all you do is provoke and you just beat the shit out of people, you're an enforcer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the hockey term for it.
He's also very dirty, apparently.
Yeah.
But
Well, most enforcers are.
Their
The
main
other
goal
thing
is to beat the shit out of people.
the-
They don't really play.
The refs were probably watching the fight and not paying attention to the
oh no, that's
unconscious
exactly
guy
what happened.
because there was probably nothing they could do for him at the time.
Actually, if you go back and you watch the replay of it, I don't think anybody really knew that he was down.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
they saw him go down, but there
Yeah.
was multiple fights going on. But this one in particular, they got up and like moved over to this side, and the refs are just. I'm like, I don't know. It must have been a couple minutes. You're just letting them
yeah,
bear hug.
that's hockey.
That's hockey.
They-
Okay, I'm learning.
Fights are part of hockey. They used to be even more. Like
I knew that, but
the hockey version of that of NFL Blitz that you guys like, the hockey version, which was called NHL Hits, we actually called boxing because there was no way not to get into fights, and you spent more of the game actually punching each other than you did playing hockey.
Well, that's why I like NFL Blitz 2000 because after the play, you could still pick people up and throw them around. When we played that updated version that you had,
Yeah.
it wouldn't do that. When the play stopped, the play stopped.
I understand that that's hockey, but what's the purpose?
Well,
I mean, no, honestly, why are you just gonna like rub on a guy? If you're
Don't
gonna
touch my
hit him,
suit.
I didn't
Don't
touch your
touch my
suit.
suit.
Calm your tits.
don't touch
If
the
you're
suit.
gonna hit somebody, why don't you just hit him instead of like grabbing at him and trying to just bloody hit him?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
if you're gonna fight.
That's exactly it. The penalty is not incurred until one hits the other. And so really what they're doing is they're playing a game of chicken.
Who's going to hit first?
Who's going to hit first?
But it seriously makes you look like a bunch of girls.
Well,
Well, that would explain why the
seriously.
refs were standing around for so long before
Yeah.
anything. Because you can't blow a whistle unless something happens. And if it didn't happen,
Yeah.
Oh, and apparently the guy who hit Boyle went after he hit him, what they call it, turtled. He went and he hid behind a linesman.
Uh-huh.
And the Sharks players are saying, if you're gonna hit somebody, be a man.
Yeah.
Don't go run behind your linesman.
so he hit him and ran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hit and run.
It would be the equivalent of a running back running out, punching a strong safety, and then go hiding behind his offensive line.
You can't get me.
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
a pussy.
Yeah. So, but in any case, Dan Boyle is doing just fine.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But dirty hockey.
Yeah. Well,
People like
hockey tends to be a pretty
violent.
fist.
If we're going to talk hockey, we should get Rob to come in.
Oh my God.
Rob or Bruce. Shane was still here.
Shane would
He
be
was,
really.
he was
Shane
an
would be
announcer
okay.
for hockey, actually.
I'm
Well,
sure.
look at that.
I'm sure Chef Rob would love to join us
Yeah,
for hockey.
I'm sure he'd be down for that.
I'm sure.
Actually, Chef Chris probably would too.
We should bring Chris in, actually.
Yeah.
Coach.
Moving on.
Coach. So, moving forward, we can talk about the wonderful Geno Smith, who has decided that he's going to be a superstar quarterback in the NFL. According
He
to him.
decided.
Yes.
Well, you know
according to
what?
him.
Self-proclaimed.
Well,
I admire his confidence.
Well, on that note, I'm also going to make $1 billion and have a threesome with Kate Winslet and Scarlett Johansson.
I think Geno Smith is a little more
Realistic.
accessible to that notion.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is it completely crazy to think? I don't know. He's a rookie.
Yeah, but
You know what? How about you keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
You see how your rookie season goes, and then come sophomore season,
see what happens.
see what happens. Because
Well,
as we've noticed, there have been several sophomores who were hyped who have
And
sucked. Just
choked.
quite literally sucked.
RG3.
Precisely. So there's a fine line between being confident and being cocky, and I think he has significantly crossed it.
Yeah.
He's,
yeah.
he's
I mean,
right
you-
along
and-
the,
and
he's
not
right
only
along
that-
the arrogance line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not only that, I mean, you play for the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like I don't know. It's not like
Okay,
you
but
play
if
for
he's good and he
Denver.
plays for the Jets, once you put him on a team that actually
That's what
is
I'm
worth
saying.
This
That's
is
what I'm
true.
saying. It's not like you're playing for Denver or New
Yeah.
England or any Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know, you're not playing for a really good team. You're playing for Rex Ryan
Yes.
and the Jets. So
Speaking
Calm
of Rex
yourself.
Ryan and the Jets, Rex Ryan has informed his players that they are to restrain themselves from any bedroom activities prior to the game.
Is that how it was, really?
Yeah,
Bedroom
well,
activities?
Okay,
that
so-
was the quote from the article.
did he give any explanation as to why?
Apparently, it tires them out for the game because it's an early morning game.
Actually, it gets your heart pumping.
Don't ask me.
So, Coach pulled him in and said, guys, no screwing before the game.
Yeah. Apparently, which kind of defeats the whole point
I
of
mean,
being a...
if that was me, I was on the team, I'd say, whatever I do before I get here is none of your damn business.
This is true.
No, and that's exactly it. A coach has absolutely no business telling his players what they can and cannot do off the field in their personal matters.
This is
It's one thing if it's a league policy such as drugs
Yeah.
or whatever, personal conduct.
Yes.
That's one thing. But in your bedroom, that is your private area,
Yeah.
nobody has
Yeah,
any
there's
right to
no
tell you
rules
what you can
about-
or cannot do.
It's
It's not
agree.
affecting
I
your
agree.
on-field play, so I think he crossed the line
Yeah.
as a professional, telling his
No,
players
if I will, I'm not going to defend this. I do not like Rex Ryan, but I will say this: if their play was suffering, and then he turned around and said, "What did you do before you get here?" And whatever it was, please don't do it again because
exactly.
you weren't good today.
There are
Yeah.
ways that he could approach that
Sure.
would have been 10 times better, but you don't say that to somebody. I mean, you as a coach, as a professional, as somebody that players look up to, you don't do that. That's a line that you don't cross.
Yeah,
He did.
you...
I mean, you're already we already mock you and laugh at you for things that
Exactly.
you do, and then you go and you say stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah. And it's
Ugh.
exactly like you said. It's a matter of, look, you guys looked sloppy today, so whatever you guys did last night, don't do that again.
yeah.
It's not it's
it's
not Rex
affecting your
Ryan's
play.
business of what it is they did.
Absolutely.
Because
and it's actually, it's kind of disturbing.
Maybe it wasn't even that. Maybe they were out, seeing a band, or maybe they were out drinking, or who knows?
I don't know. To me, I think it's a little bit disturbing.
Yeah.
That you would even consider that.
All right, well,
he just needs to keep his mouth shut.
Wow,
and
you know what?
concentrate on playing the game. Because,
considering that his team's crap and he's not a very good coach, like you think you'd worry
well,
about.
It sounds to me like
football.
he's pulling out everything out of his bag right now. Now he's
That's
trying
all he's got left.
Well,
know,
his team is crap. They lost to the Steelers.
No, seriously.
We're going to be one analyst down.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I won't argue. I'll help you.
I figured as much.
I'll help.
Anyway, before
Thanks,
we get
guys.
oh, you're on the
Is
list.
what it is.
Before we get into the next segment, we're gonna
Bro, joining us, you are already down 2-1.
I know.
we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back,
I still like to stir the pot.
we'll get into the next segment.
KOS Sports Talk Radio with the Brat Pack is brought to you by Las Vegas alternative rock group Mead Avenue.
When I look into your eyes, the universe is magnified. And even as the rust subsides, the fire burns deep down inside. And I feel alive.
Welcome back. We were just talking about Alexa's funny bone and how it's not funny. What would you call it then if it wasn't a funny bone?
Am I allowed to curse?
Well, this is our show, our network, so yes, you can.
I'd call it the fuck you funny bone. Because it's not funny, but it
Fuck
hurts.
you bone.
Fuck you bone. I don't know. It's like the universe saying you deserve that, and I'm gonna laugh at you. You're probably gonna laugh at yourself because you're, how you rub it and stuff. You get all into it. It looks funny, but shit hurts.
On that note, please go with your next topic.
I personally am really tired of hearing about the debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James as to who's the best basketball player ever, who will be the best basketball player ever. And obviously you can throw Kobe in there as well. But I just have a problem when we're trying to single out one person in general to take the title of best basketball player ever, because the game has evolved so much and it's going to continue to evolve so much, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. You have your best of each era. Michael Jordan is arguably one of the most recognized basketball players ever to play the game. And is he the best of his era? Absolutely. Is he the best ever? I don't know. I think LeBron James all around is a better player, has more talent. But I don't think it's fair to either of them to say one's better than the other. I think within their era, they are the best.
Didn't we do a show on this one time?
We had talked about
I
it,
think
but
we
there's
have
still,
talked about
but
this.
the debate is still going. It's always Jordan versus LeBron.
The thing about it, number one, you have to remember, you have to look at their teams around them too, as far as where they're getting their support from. I mean, LeBron James has a lot of support. Michael Jordan has a lot of support. But you also have to look at the state of the game from the different eras, exactly like you said.
LeBron has tougher competition to play.
Agreed.
But the game now is quicker.
Yes.
It's more difficult. Guys are stronger. I mean, the game just in general is more evolved than it was back then.
Actually, if you take a look at, going off of what you said, back then, pure talent is how you won games.
Yes.
Now there's so many drugs and muscle enhancers out there that
and super
are not in the game,
but
are in the game.
But it's part of the evolution of the game.
It is.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, one of the reasons Michael Jordan was so good, other than the guy has amazing talent, but there was no performance enhancing drugs
that we knew of.
Well, okay.
They weren't as prevalent.
Yeah,
they weren't safe.
They weren't as popular, so not everybody was doing them. So his talent was so far above everybody else's talent. Nowadays, there is so much shit out there, so many drugs out there that you can take and not be found taking, that everybody's getting good.
Yeah.
LeBron, however, is phenomenal.
I mean,
He is.
and don't get me wrong, he is an amazing player, and quite frankly, I think he has so much more potential.
drugs are no. If he's not on performance-enhancing substances now. I'd hate to see him if he was.
I mean, he
that
just
would be
exactly,
scary.
Exactly. But all I'm saying is that I don't think it's fair to say one is better than the other solely based on the fact that the game is different than it was back then. If you want to break it down and say Jordan was the best of his era, yes, hands down. If you want to say LeBron is the best in his era, I'd say, yeah, he beats Kobe in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I just don't think it's fair to say one person in particular is the best at their sport because
I don't recall anybody doing that through baseball. I mean, going all the way back to root.
Nobody talks about the best baseball player ever.
There
They always
isn't.
talk about the hollowed names. You know, you hear your Willie Mays, your Babe Ruth, your Hank Aaron, et cetera, et cetera. You know, your Mickey Mantle, so on and so forth. Wow, those are mostly Yankees players. Interesting. Anyways.
we don't like the Yanks.
Yeah, of course they don't.
They're overrated. Overpaid.
This year, yes, I completely agree.
This
in
year,
general? No,
last
just-
year, every year.
Pretty much just in general.
What about prior to the money era?
That was when they had talent.
And they, even
Okay.
during
just-
that era,
just to
they still
keep-
had the most World Series wins.
I wasn't alive then. I really don't care. Let's be honest.
Fair enough. So, anyways, back to the LeBron and Michael Jordan thing. Yeah, it's not fair to compare the two different eras. I just would like to say, go back and watch some Michael Jordan footage. And how many times did people flop back then?
I'm just saying.
Faking fouls and
I'm just saying.
what is this, soccer?
Soccer. Do we want to? Can we talk about soccer?
Were we going into it this show?
Yeah, I
at
thought
all?
we were going into.
We
Did
know.
you
I mean,
have
we are.
something
I
on
was going to
soccer?
save it, but since we're on the subject of soccer,
So we're gonna move. We'll move a couple things.
Well,
around.
It's a nice little segue right there.
well, I mean, okay, let's just talk about soccer. Typically, if you get a win, you get 3 points. If you draw, each team gets 1 point. If you lose, you get nothing. Okay, because when you lose, you don't get anything. That's the purpose of winning. The Tahitian Football Association has revamped its scoring format to award winners 4 points. If you tie, you get 2 points. And for our dear losers, you get 1 point because, and I quote, we just don't want anybody to be sad. Now, it goes back to that whole you get trophies for participation thing.
That's it right there.
was gonna
I
say, that-
absolutely hate that. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
Okay? If
Was there a blind spot over your
there
word
there was one of those censor bars
We have those in the
that
video.
bleeped
editing, so
out
yeah.
what I said because you know exactly what I said. I absolutely hate that. If you want to give somebody a ribbon that says participant, cool, sure,
Yeah.
all right, whatever. But no, I'm serious.
Participant
I'm a
ribbon.
participant ribbon. We used to get those, but
Sure.
I think it's asinine, and you're not teaching them life lessons by awarding them stuff for losing. Okay, it's life. Somebody's gonna win. Somebody's gonna lose. How are you going to get any better? How are you going to progress in life? Because sports teaches how to live, how to whatever. How are you gonna do? How are you gonna do that if you're getting awarded stuff for losing?
Yeah,
Just
it's
don't get it.
it's a matter of you're not going to get promoted because you were there at your job. You're not going to succeed in a side venture because you showed up. You're going to succeed when you put in the work
And you
do
do
better than other
somebody
people.
else.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to give you a promotion if you don't deserve it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to give you a raise
If you don't
deserve it.
Yeah, and
But
But they're going to award them.
they're going
points
to
because
they
want them to
don't
feel bad.
because we just don't want anyone to be sad.
and
What's
then they get to real life and wonder why it's so difficult.
Exactly, and that's just the problem. And I don't know where it comes from that all of a sudden everybody has feelings. I'm sorry, nobody cares about your feelings, okay?
Exactly.
And it is what it is. Life isn't fair. Life's hard, and you're gonna go places, and then a lot of times you're gonna get knocked on your ass. You got to deal with it. You got to get
Yeah.
back up, learn from your mistakes, and do better next time. But the fact that we don't want anybody to be sad, so we're giving you 1 point for losing, I hate it.
Well, that
You're
reminds,
not
that
sending
reminds
a
me of the
good
baseball
message.
leagues back home. The little leagues back home, it wasn't considered all-stars, but like the championship game. Okay, the winner of the league got their trophy. Every other team was given trophies for participating.
See, like in our league, your top 3 got trophies, and that was it.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. So, like I
you
said,
get a big
first,
trophy,
second,
you get a medium trophy,
and third.
Yeah.
You get a little trophy. The rest of you get shit.
because you sucked.
The rest
Well, you
of you
didn't do
go to the pizza place and shut up.
Or ice cream. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just, you're sending the wrong
Dairy
message.
Queen.
Yes.
You're just sending the wrong message. And, for a country who's probably really used to losing, I think they were outscored 24-1 the last time. I don't remember what tournament it was. But nonetheless, Tahiti was outscored 24-1 in goals. But now you're offering, you're in your regular leagues, you're offering 1 point for losing. You're
Yeah,
not sending the right message. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah, but then they go and play in the world stage and.
But
get no points for
they're
losing.
happy to get to the world stage, just to get on the world stage
Fair
and play.
enough.
Even if they lose, they're
Yeah.
still happy to be there.
This is true.
I mean, getting, like, say, the World Cup, just even making it to the World Cup for some countries is a huge accomplishment and an honor.
Yeah.
So,
we mean some countries in general. If you make it to something like that,
true.
good for
My
you.
apologies.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
That means you were the best
Exactly.
in your country.
and to be recognized on a world stage.
Well, as a quick aside on the soccer,
Oh, no,
note,
we're
I
good.
just saw
That's all.
this. Apparently, a man collects on a soccer bet he made 15 years ago.
I did see that.
The awesome part was he made a bet then that his 18-month-old grandson was going to play on the national team.
And he made his
And he
first
did.
appearance.
How much do you make?
He made 125,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Because the baby at the time was like rolling around on a soccer ball.
Yeah.
So that's why he made the bet. And then now he made his first appearance for the national
Crazy.
team.
We're going to take another break. When we come back, Michael, Vic, and more, and then stick around because our dear friend Richard will be coming out and joining us for the end of the show. We'll be right back. Hey, sports fans, I'm Aaron.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Alexa, and this is KOS Sports Talk with the Brat Pak.
Check us out Tuesdays and Friday nights at 6:30 p.m. Las Vegas.
You can also check us out on Facebook, KOS Sports Talk, and on Twitter at KOS Sports Talk. And we'd love to hear from you.
All right, guys, welcome back. Before we get into introducing our dear friend Richard, we have Browns fans, Michael, Vic, and the Vikings. Why don't you lead this one?
Well, mine's pretty short and sweet. Josh Freeman has been named as the new quarterback for the Vikings, which means he'll get to hand the ball to Adrian Peterson.
An unlimited amount of time.
Yes, however many times it takes.
Hey, you know what? He should just be lucky that he has a job.
Yeah, agreed.
Because he's...
Because of how much he's done
Yeah,
goof.
because he's been bad this season. So, I mean, for anybody to pick him up, let alone start him.
Hey,
I mean...
Vikings quarterback has the easiest job on the entire league.
Yeah,
Hand
give the ball to Adrian
Peterson.
Peterson so he gives me all the fantasy points.
Hand the ball to Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
Peterson runs the ball. Done.
And I get fantasy points.
Well, we can tell you're happy.
I
Yes.
am.
Yes.
Yes, I love fantasy points.
But getting off of that, going into the Browns fans, because I hate the Browns, so I can't wait to hear this. What do you
The
have?
number one fan award goes to the fans of the Cleveland Shits, Browns.
No, shit,
They,
you got it right the first time.
somebody posted an ad on Craigslist for Brandon Whedon's job, and it said something along the lines of, have you played football? Have you played college, high school, pee-wee?
Yeah.
Have you played Madden? Do you know simple rules of the game? And it said, if you answer yes to any of the following, keep reading. Or if you answer no, keep reading anyway because we'll take anybody.
Yeah. Which
Ooh.
I thought Brandon Whedon was actually doing a decent job.
You know what?
there.
I thought he was doing a decent job this year, too. I mean, you can't help it that the Browns suck anyway.
Well, yeah,
but for
it's the
him,
Browns.
I
Well,
mean,
he's just product of poor environment right now.
Yeah.
well, and it is. And, and it's one of those, I'm going to go nerd for a second. The Cleveland Browns quarterback spot reminds me of Harry Potter and the Defense Against the Dark Arts teaching spot. No, I'm serious. For the simple
Wow.
fact that, screw you both, for the simple fact that it was cursed, that every teacher, that, I mean, you can appreciate it.
I'm a nerd. I get it.
Okay, you can appreciate it.
Malaka Zulu.
You're doing it wrong.
Or whatever the shit
But
he does.
every teacher that came through in that post, at the end of it, something happened and they didn't have it. So it had obviously, Voldemort had cursed it. The Browns quarterback spot, I think, is the same way.
They've had, what, 12 quarterbacks in the last...
You know what? Probably because I saw this jersey online that somebody had. It was an original jersey, and then it had all the quarterbacks' names listed on the jersey. And
That's
I'm like,
a lot of quarterbacks.
I feel for you. I really do. So, number one fan award goes to the Cleveland Brown fans. You guys are awesome. Way to stick to your team.
Yes, you're number one.
That doesn't beat.
And we're gonna get that foam finger.
That
Oh wait,
beat the one we had.
The clappers.
You waited the whole show to pull those out.
yes, I did.
Well, can I get a round of
Sure.
applause for Michael Vick not playing this week? Unbelievable. Vick pulled a hamstring in the first half of the October 6th game against the New York Giants, and he has benched himself.
And we
officially.
talked about that last time.
But he was thinking about it. But now update is he is officially
you know
benching
what?
himself. He said that he can't rush it.
And you know what? I gotta commend him for that. You know, a lot of coaches or whatever would try to push their players, say, you know what, you're tough, whatever, you can do it. And I like the fact that he took it upon himself to say, no, I'm not ready.
Well, that's exactly what he said. He said, I came out and tried it and pushed it, but it just wasn't time.
Yeah, I
I mean,
commend
at
him for
least
that.
he's smart enough to sit and let it heal, unlike the other dumbasses that we talked about last time that insist on hurting themselves further just so they can play.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, though, this also means that the Eagles probably have slim to no chance against the Cowboys, which is kind of weird to say because I don't like the Cowboys. But yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, we'll see if
Tony Homo.
No.
We'll see if Tony Homo can figure out some way to fuck it up.
Well, he will.
Oh no, he will.
Yeah,
it's
of course he
It's
will.
in his
in
nature.
him.
It's in his nature.
Yeah, you know, late fourth quarter interception.
Yes.
Or him and Eli Manning need to get together.
I know. I told you.
Oh yeah,
I told you they need to go take Tom Brady golf and be like, bro, we need some tips.
Yeah,
bro tips.
Exactly. Because
Get a bromance going.
Tony Romo and Eli Manning both throw less than a minute left interceptions to lose their games. Tom Brady is down.
On top of the already pile of.
Tom Brady's down by 5 with 1:16 to go and just walks right down the field and scores. Tom Brady needs to teach them a couple things.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady needs to teach him more than a couple things.
But
like how to just how to play football.
Yeah, how to play football.
How to play because it's about what it comes down to.
Yes, I would actually like to see the Cowboys-Giants game. See which one actually ends up choking to screw it up for their team.
Well, they'll tie. They'll go into overtime. Then they'll tie and go into overtime. They'll both be 1 point.
Yeah.
Yes. They'll both be awarded 1 point.
We have a few more minutes left in this segment before we get into bringing Richard out. So unless you have something else, we're going to go to the warm and fuzzy.
Feel good.
Whatever. Same shit. We always call it the warm and fuzzy.
It's a feel good word.
Let's see.
You have something.
Well, we could go.
Besides dead air.
We need to talk about the BCS system, their new playoff selection committee.
Rolling.
Okay, so if you don't know, the playoff selection committee for next year's college football consists of Archie Manning, decent choice, the current president, whoever it happens to be, I can't remember what his name is right now,
No
the
idea.
NCAA president, and Condoleezza Rice,
who has a history in sports for people who want to jump down her shit for that.
She's probably the most qualified out of the three of them.
She had quite a few positions in line before she took.
However, the point I'm making here is, why do you still have a system where individual people get to have say in who's making playoffs, championships, whatever?
Because it's college football.
But it's still football. It's still a sport. Every other college sport has a playoff system based completely on merit.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to have to...
Oh, I know, but
go off that.
I'm making fun of the fact that it's college football, and it's the only sport that doesn't have a legitimate playoff scenario.
It's really not that complicated. It's, you were 13-0. You're the number 1 seed. You were 12-1. You're the number 2 seed. You were 11-2. You're the number 3, etc., etc. Then, however many teams you put in there, they all play. 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15, etc., etc. Whoever makes it to the end is the winner.
I mean, they really should take notes from.
Unfortunately,
know,
that's not
dance.
good for the big conferences that actually make all the money for the NCAA.
Why? Because parity is actually good for sports.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Ma-
politics.
because
Oh, I know what it is.
because
Comes
the
down to
playoff
politics.
system is the
College
only way
is
the
politics.
SECs are going to get taken off their throne. Because 2 years ago, the SEC would have lost the national championship to Oklahoma State and the Cleveland Browns quarterback Brandon Weeden.
You know what? I got some handkerchiefs for all the SEC teams who are going to cry about this because
Yeah.
they're not going to get a chance to play for the title. I got hankies for all y'all.
Yeah,
You're gonna need
they're going to cry about, oh, but we constantly beat each other, so therefore our records aren't as good.
Oh,
Well, then you should still be good enough to play through the playoffs and beat the teams you say you were ahead of.
Exactly. Like I said, I like college football, but I personally like the NFL more. There's a lot of humor to me.
Yeah.
The college football just amuses me.
Well, of course.
Aside from the fact that
I
you know,
respect
I like
I
watching
respect
them
college
play.
ball more than I do the NFL.
I'm-
I don't like watching it,
Yeah.
but I respect it more because they play to win.
And I think
play,
it's
they
just
play because they
it's-
want to play
I think
the
it's
game.
just it's the NCAA in general.
Well,
that
yeah. The
is a
NCAA
joke.
committee is kind of
It's a
one
joke.
of our
Not
Richards
kind of.
Awards went to the NCAA Rules Committee for giving that fine to the
Yes.
golfer from Stanford who washed her car on campus.
I do remember that. The
I remember that
NCAA.
one.
They're too busy paying attention to that than the actual issues.
Yeah.
So, break.
Yeah, do one more quick break. When we come back, the feel good
Feel good.
bitch,
Dr. Few.
and we'll bring Richard on out. We'll be right back.
Sports Talk Radio with the Brat Pack is brought to you by Las Vegas alternative rock group Mead Avenue.
When I look into your eyes, the universe is magnified. And even as the rust subsides, a fire burns deep down inside.
Welcome back, guys. Alexa, the retard, waving her little
The
flag there.
retard.
But apparently that has something to do with our feel good. So
Absolutely. Okay, well, let me just start off by
it's a good spot for him.
It is.
let
a
me
good
just
spot
start
for
off by saying thank you to all of the men and women in uniform who serve our country and fight for our freedom. I couldn't ever do what you do, so thank you. This one, I don't know. Let me just get there. U.S. Army Ranger Corporal Josh Hargis was in Afghanistan and was gravely wounded by a suicide bomber. 4 of his brothers were killed. But he was laying in his hospital bed. I think they said it was in Germany. He was rushed through several surgeries. He's in the hospital bed. They thought he was unconscious. There was approximately 50 staff and commanders and whatnot. And the commander awarded him the Purple Heart. He pinned it onto his blanket. Now, mind you, everybody thought that he was unconscious. He had enough strength to raise his arm and salute them.
Wow.
And it brought the entire room to tears.
Well, I completely
It just
agree.
gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that's quite awesome.
Yeah. I found that the other day and I couldn't help but shed some waterworks because, like I said, I couldn't ever imagine doing what they do. And to be in that position, having almost died, gone through those surgeries, and then to get the Purple Heart, but, to have enough strength to be a warrior and a fighter and salute your commander, I mean,
Yeah, that's a
just
hell of a job.
it kind of just hits me like I have so much admiration and love for our troops.
He didn't pass, did he?
No, I think he'll
alive
be
and
okay.
kicking?
Yeah,
Good job.
Good.
but I mean,
Well, I mean, on the soldiers and the veterans,
Yes.
Mead Avenue, our band, actually has a pretty big show coming up. We'd like to thank Danielle of Nevermore Productions for helping us out with it. The show is going to be hosted by the Hard Rock on the Strip. That's
Yeah.
the one, right? On
Yeah,
the Strip.
the only one in Vegas.
No, there's two. There's two Hard Rocks in Vegas. I just found that out today.
It's the one's the hotel and one's the casino.
Oh.
They're separate.
Anyway,
Not like the movies.
The Hard Rock is going to pick up the show, and it's going to be benefiting the Wounded Warriors Fund, as well as Songs for Soldiers, and there was another one in there.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm looking at you trying to think.
I haven't got all the details, so.
I
I'm
did,
just
but I
an innocent-
forgot.
I'm just
Anyway,
an
it's benefiting the
observer.
veterans, so once we get an official lock day on that, please come out and join us. The proceeds from the event is going to go to help the wounded soldiers. Our CD is actually going to go into a care package and be sent off to the guys and the women over in Afghanistan,
Iraq, and all those.
so they can at least have a little bit of music while they're over there.
Sure.
Doing the
So,
dirty work.
to Josh Hargis and everybody else in uniform that serves and protects us every day, God bless you guys.
Do you want to say it before I take it from you?
Yes. What goes up must come down, and one of these days I'm going to bring my umbrella hat for the shit.
The umbrella hat.
Yes.
Where's
Well,
Richard?
The Richard Award today goes to the entire NFL
I like when
because they done goofed. And it's even in a ref's uniform. So, the reason it goes to the NFL is because they fined, what's his name? They fined Brandon Marshall
Oh, it's not the one I was thinking about.
$11,000
For what?
because he didn't wear the right color shoes because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the NFL and everybody's supposed to wear the pink shoes. However, this is Mental Health Awareness Week across the country. Brandon Marshall, who actually does have a mental illness, wore green shoes for the mental health awareness, and the NFL fined him $11,000. Yep, this is the thing that happened.
What a bunch of assholes. All right, I have a question. If you're going to fine $11,000 for wearing the wrong color shoes because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, did the NFL take that $11,000 and give it to the Breast Cancer Fund?
No.
Of course not.
Brandon Marshall, however, said that every time they fine him, he's going to wear them all week. Every time they fine him, he's going to make an equal donation to a mental health fund.
Good for him.
Wow.
So,
You know,
What a bunch of
it's
fucks.
okay. It's okay for the NFL to get behind organizations and causes like breast cancer awareness and push that every year. But for somebody who is suffering from a mental illness, and I mean, it's a big, honestly, it's
Yeah.
real. It's a big epidemic.
it is.
And not enough attention is being drawn to it and being centered around it. So when somebody of his stature is trying to bring awareness to it, he's getting fined for it. It's like, bad. You're bad
Yeah.
for doing that because we're focused on this other thing.
I didn't
Not that, breast cancer awareness isn't important, but
Yeah,
It's
I
for
didn't,
good
I didn't realize
cause.
that just because it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month that you had to wear that. Why does it have to be just for that? Why can't he just support something in general? Is it stated somewhere that, in October, NFL players all have to wear this? I mean, apparently it is.
Apparently it is.
well, I mean, it's known. It's pretty well known that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Well,
Yeah.
now make a mental note, everybody.
Yeah.
NFL players, you wear pink in the month of October.
Yeah.
But more importantly, what you say this week?
Yeah, this week.
This week, make
Or-
sure you write it down.
No, it was last week because
Excuse
it was
me,
their
last
Thursday
week.
game.
So,
'Cause
whatever.
he's on the Bears.
Because I know you all are intelligent people. Figure out what week that was, what days those spanned, and mark it in your calendar. That's Mental Health Awareness Week.
Intelligent people, yet she doesn't even know what it is.
That's why I was looking at you all. You know what? People always assume that I'm intelligent. I don't know why.
I don't know why they do that.
I'm book smart. but,
Anyway,
like,
NFL.
Well, yeah.
next time, don't be a dick.
Well, that wraps up this segment of KOS Sports Talk with the Brat Pack. I'm Aaron, Alexa, and Seth, and we'll see you guys next week. Hook those.
You like them.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
See you guys.